What's up? Welcome to Diceheiser Disc Golf. Today we're coming at you with a couple new pickups. Here's my old Wraith, and here's what I'm going to compare it to. This is a Climo Discs Skyway. This is an 11 speed. I think it's maybe a 6 glide, a -1.3. So this should be roughly equivalent to a Wraith. This happens to be a flat top with a high parting line, so I'm thinking this is going to be a little more stable than this low parting line high dome Wraith. Then I also got the Premier Q-Line DD1. This is also an 11 speed, maybe 6 glide, -1.2, so a little less overstable than these guys. But from what people say, with this Q-Line technology where they skim extra plastic off of the flight plate area so that it's lighter, and then make the plastic that's over here, make the plastic denser so that the plastic that remains on the rim now makes up a greater percentage of the overall weight, then what you're left with is a new gyro technology, you know, to match MVP and I don't know, whatever that stuff Latitude was doing. So let's give them a rip and see how they fly. Let's start with a Swirl Wraith for a baseline. This is 175. This is 167. And this is 174. All right. Okay, straight for a good while, and then a solid, big, strong finish. That didn't go very far, I don't think. Maybe 260, 270. All right, here's the Climo Disc Skyway. This is actually a double stamp signed by Ricky Wysocki right here. This is a Ricky Wysocki 2-time. It's a collaboration that Rick did with Ken, where they came out with this Skyway, and I think some other molds of Climo discs as well that had a stamp that included Ricky and Ken. This one is a double stamp, so it's very hard to see, but it was a kind of a cartoon picture of Ken Climo with big old ears and this little young raptor jumping on and taking a bite of his big old ear, when the young raptor was obviously Ricky. And then above that picture it says ear to the throne. So got this on Whatnot. This was my first Whatnot purchase. I bid on it, got it. I like the one-of-a-kind deals like this, and ended up only paying $1.23 just the tax, because when you sign up for Whatnot, they gave me $20 free coupon to use on anything, and free shipping, and so I ended up getting this bad boy for $1.23. Let's see if it flies worth $1.23. Okay, that was a bad snap. My fault. All right, we're moving on to the Discmania Premier Technology Q-Line DD1. Ooh, oh, that went really far. We're gonna have to measure that. Felt good. I got better snap out of that one, out of my hand, but seemed like it held pretty straight. It held that. Probably released with a little bit of Annie, as I normally do when I'm trying to release flat. And then when I try to release on a little bit of hyzer, I usually release flat. When I try to release flat, usually a little Annie. So that held the Annie a little bit, which was cool. And let's go measure it now. All right, again, let's start with the Wraith for a baseline. Okay. Tiny bit of hyzer, held the angle, but pushed and pushed and pushed. Pushed and pushed and pushed. All right, let's go with the Ricky Wysocki 2-time Skyway. Again, did not get a good snap on that. Not sure what's causing me to release it like that. It's a mental thing. It's very strange. DD1. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a full flight. That was a very full flight. Wow. Well, this bad boy just broke the record. Very pop-toppy. All right, let's do the same order. Let's start with the Wraith. Okay, that was good. Nice straight flight, nice, strong, dependable finish. Now, please let me do a good one with this. Please let me do a good one with this Skyway. Come on, for Rick. Come on, do it for Rick. A little bit. A little fluffed it still a little bit, but yeah, still garbage. What am I gonna, what can I say? Garbage is garbage. DD1. This disc is freaking amazing. It didn't get as good a snap. At least it with a little bit of hyzer, but it did flip up almost to flat. Almost. And then just kind of faded out before it got to the end, but it really was amazing. I'm shocked by the flight of the Q-Line DD1. The Premier technology it's no joke. It's not a gimmick. People were saying, oh, for someone who throws around 300 feet or whatever, it's not actually going to provide that much, benefit. It's mostly going to be for people that, already throw 400 feet, and then it'll give you like an extra 50 feet. I don't think so, buddy. For me, who you can see with my Wraith and everything, I can barely hit 300, and oftentimes I can't. When I do, usually it's with, a Mamba, the Wraith I've put over 300 a few times, the River, usually something understable. And this Premier Q-Line DD1, it crushed them all. Oh no. No, I forgot. I shouldn't be recording this. I need to actually be using my phone to measure the distance, so I need to go back and find where I threw from. Goodbye. All right, let's play this 530-foot hole with all three discs and see if it matters on the course. Let's start with Climo. Yeah, I should have started those out further to the right because you got to get around that last tree there to reach the basket. Okay, Swirl Star Wraith. Well, not that far out, geez. Although that'll actually be a perfect angle in. It just lost a lot of distance by taking that big route, yanking it over there. All right, back to the star of the show, the Premier Line DD1. Oh, it's a bullet. Hits a bullet. Hits a bullet. Oh, good skip on that bullet. Well, I don't know about you, but I think that even on a low bullet, that Q-Line DD1 smoked all of them. I betcha. Well, the Skyline went about 250 feet, 245. Got a lot of work left to get around that corner. Oh, felt like a good throw. Okay, did not get around the corner. Well, I should have a shot from under that tree. Now the Wraith went 250 on the dot, so again, a little bit of work. I'm gonna try to again put it out right a little bit, just maybe not so high this time, so I don't have to go under the tree. Yes, that's exactly the line I wanted. Okay, just over the path. Should have a little pitch up. Now, let's go check out the DD1. And this is the Premier Q line difference. This went 300 feet, 50 feet further than comparable discs, the Wraith and the Skyway. And now I've got a much more reasonable shot at actually getting within the circle for a putt, for birdie on this par 4. Because there should only be 240 left, 230 left. So I should easily, I'm going to try to have it on a hyzer and kind of swing it out. So we'll see how it reacts to that. This is crazy. Wow. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? That's 100% in the circle. That was, this disc is magic. It's a magical disc, period. If you don't have one, get one. Doesn't matter what color, doesn't matter what weight. If you throw around 300 feet, get a Q-line DD1. Invest and trust in this Premier technology. It's just as good, if not better, than the MVP's gyro. It's got to be better, otherwise people wouldn't say it adds 50 more feet, because you could just say, it's comparable to something from MVP. No, they're saying that this Q line, these discs add 50 feet to people that throw 400 feet already. Adds it to their furthest disc. So if their max distance is with an MVP gyro disc, this adds 50 feet on top of that. For me, it just added 50 feet. Usually you could see on the other throws, it was more like 20 feet-ish. Maybe the other ones, maybe we're going 260, 270, 280. And then the Q line DD1 was going, 299, 300, 324. So, I mean, it's just, this is wild. This is wild. Wild, 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 wild. The whole bag's going to have to be redone now. I can I have Q-line everything? Can I switch to just Q-line putters, mids, fairways, and drivers? I just want Q-line, a Q-line bag, please. Okay, here's what we're looking at for the Skyway. Over there, you can see that's the Wraith right there. I cannot see the DD1. Maybe you can, but I don't see it. So, wait a minute. I thought I caught a little tinge of blue back here. No? Okay, no. All right. Well, see, this is why it matters, because this is not a reasonable look. Definitely not for me. Probably not for anybody. So, let's try to, this is crazy. I know I don't usually do it, but try to do a little forehand. There it is. Okay. Yeah, that worked out. Every once in a while, I'll get the feel of short, flicky forehands. But then the next day, I'll try it again, and all of a sudden I'm going, instead of flicking over on my side, I'm going through and then releasing at some weird angle way in front of me. Oh! There's the Wraith. There is the DD1, right next to that beautiful upshot of the Skyway. Unbelievable. All right, let's see if we can make this with the Wraith. And this is why the Wraith is, one of the most popular and famous discs of all time. Because even against the Q-line technology, here it is with a reasonable putt. This is a makeable putt. Obviously not for me personally, but for people. Okay, start with the Wraith for a par. Go on to the Skyway for a par. And now for perhaps, I'll have to double check, but perhaps the only birdie that I've ever gotten on this hole, maybe the only time I've ever gotten a 3 on this 530-foot hole. The Premier Technology Q-Line DD1. The Q-Line DD1. So there you have it. You've got the Climo Disc Skyway. Very nice disc, very comparable, it seems, to a Wraith. And with this flat top and this high parting line, and being 173 grams, I think this still is comparable to like a beat-in Wraith, because the other Wraith that I have that's also flat top with a high parting line, with way more dome than this, I mean way less dome than this Wraith, and then way higher parting line than this Wraith. This already flies like this. And so if the Skyway was exactly like a Wraith, then this would be much more overstable. So I'm gonna say that everyone that says that Skyways are like, new Skyways are like beat-in Wraiths out of the box, I'm gonna have to say that's exactly what I'm feeling here. This is obviously an amazing disc, period, end of story. To put up a fight like that against the Q-Line, all day, every day. Love this disc. And this is a very trustworthy disc as far as turning over, wind shots. This 167 gram Premier Technology Q-Line DD1 is the best disc I've ever touched in my life. That's it. That's it, and that's all, and goodbye. Third.